Every garden deserves a burst of color that feels wild yet elegant, and nothing delivers that better than the radiant spikes of the Lupins mix. There's something extraordinary about a flower that looks both powerful and poetic. Tall spires filled with hundreds of tiny blooms in rich, rainbow hues that seem to dance in the sunlight. That's the magic of the Lupins mix, a show-stopping plant that transforms any American garden into a painter's palette of color and texture. Whether you're a new gardener or an experienced enthusiast, growing lupins is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have in the world of flowers. The lupins mix combines multiple colors: deep purples, vibrant pinks, creamy yellows, bold reds, and calming blues, all on towering stems that can reach up to 4 feet tall. They're not just flowers. They're living sculptures that add drama and sophistication to any garden landscape. Native to North America, the lupin or Lupinus is a hardy perennial that thrives across much of the United States. From the Pacific Northwest to the Northeast, lupins find their happy place in gardens that offer cool, moist soil and plenty of sunlight. Even in the warmer southern states, with proper care, lupins can flourish as seasonal beauties. Starting your lupins mix from seed is both simple and satisfying. The first step is to prepare your soil. They love slightly acidic, well-draining soil enriched with organic matter. Before planting, loosen the top few inches of soil and mix in compost. If you live in a region with heavy clay, consider raising your bed or adding sand to improve drainage. Lupins grow best in areas that receive full sun, but they can also tolerate partial shade. In southern regions where summer heat is intense, choose a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade to protect the plants during the hottest part of the day. To plant from seed, soak the seeds overnight in warm water. This helps soften the outer coat and speeds up germination. Plant the seeds about 2 inches deep and lightly cover them with soil. Keep the area moist but never soggy. Germination typically occurs within 10 to 14 days. If you prefer to start indoors, sow seeds about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. Lupins dislike root disturbance, so it's best to start them in biodegradable pots that can be planted directly into the garden. Once seedlings are about 3 inches tall and the risk of frost has passed, transplant them carefully into their permanent spot, spacing them about 12 to 18 inches apart. As your lupins grow, you'll notice their signature palm-shaped leaves. Green, lush, and slightly silky to the touch, they make an attractive base even before the flowering stalks emerge. These leaves love consistent moisture, especially in the early stages of growth. Water deeply once or twice per week depending on weather conditions, allowing the soil to dry slightly between waterings. Avoid overhead watering whenever possible, as this can lead to mildew or fungal issues. Instead, water at the base early in the day so the foliage can dry before evening. Feeding lupins is simple. They don't require much fertilizer, as they belong to the legume family and naturally fix nitrogen in the soil. A light application of a balanced, slow-release fertilizer in early spring is usually all they need. Too much nitrogen can cause lush leaves but fewer flowers. One of the most enchanting qualities of the Lupins mix is its ability to attract pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds are drawn to their tubular flowers, turning your garden into a buzzing paradise of life. Watching these visitors hover and land on the colorful spikes is pure magic, reminding you how connected nature truly is. When your lupins begin to bloom, typically in late spring to early summer, the show is breathtaking. The flower spikes open from bottom to top, creating a long-lasting display of color that can continue for several weeks. To extend blooming, remove spent flowers before they set seed. This encourages the plant to produce more spikes and keeps the garden looking tidy. If you allow some flowers to go to seed, lupins will often self-sow, bringing new generations year after year. This makes them a low-maintenance, semi-perennial joy for any gardener who loves effortless beauty. However, if you're growing them in regions with harsh winters, a USDA zones 4 and 9 are ideal. You mulching around the base during late fall helps protect their roots. In southern zones, they may behave more like annuals due to the heat, but replanting from seed each year is simple and rewarding. Pests are rarely a major issue with lupins, but aphids and slugs can appear occasionally. A natural neem oil spray or insecticidal soap helps manage aphids, while crushed eggshells or organic slug traps can prevent leaf damage. Lupins are generally deer and rabbit resistant, which is another reason American gardeners love them. One thing to remember, lupins contain alkaloids that can be toxic if ingested by pets or humans. Always handle them with care and plant them in areas where curious animals or children can't easily reach them. Design-wise, Lupins mix adds stunning vertical height and works beautifully in mixed borders. Pair them with daisies, delphiniums, or foxgloves for a traditional cottage garden look. Their strong stems and vivid colors contrast beautifully against softer plants like lavender or ornamental grasses. In containers, lupins can also thrive. Just make sure your pot is deep enough to accommodate their long taproot. Use rich, loamy soil and water regularly. They make eye-catching accents for patios and decks, especially when grouped with complementary colors. After flowering, you can cut back the stalks to encourage regrowth. In cooler climates, they often produce a second, smaller bloom before autumn. In warmer zones, this trim helps the plant conserve energy and prepare for dormancy. For new gardeners in the US, the Lupins mix is a perfect introduction to perennials. They teach patience, rhythm, and reward you with colors that seem painted by hand. Their adaptability, elegance, and natural charm make them a must-have for anyone dreaming of a vibrant, pollinator-friendly garden. When the breeze moves through a bed of lupins, it feels like nature itself is breathing. Alive, rhythmic, and colorful, the flowers sway gracefully, catching sunlight on every petal. That's the beauty you create when you bring Lupins mix into your world. So, this season, give your garden a new voice, one that speaks through color, texture, and life. Plant Lupins mix and watch your outdoor space transform into a living masterpiece that celebrates nature's brilliance year after year. Start growing your Lupins mix today and let your garden sing in color, light, and beauty every spring.